if you want to mount your DJI Osmo Pocket to your body, you can buy the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 accessory adapter and mount it like a GoPro. But what if I told you that instead you could buy this adapter off Amazon that's cheaper, better, and more easily available? Stay tuned to find out why this cheaper adapter is better. This video is not sponsored, and I bought everything I'm going to be talking about with my own money. Now, because of the quality of the video coming out of this camera, these things have been selling in millions all over the world. In fact, when I was in Japan recently, I lost count of how many of these things I saw. This seemed to be the most popular camera out. Now, one of the ways I wanted to use this camera was to mount it like a POV, so I can record myself when I was out about, when I'm reviewing stuff. I just need this pointing away from me, and then I can use both hands to handle whatever I'm handling. Now, initially I tried to get the original adapter, but first of all, they were always out of stock. And when they did come in stock, the cost of shipping was like another 50% on top of the cost of the adapter, because they only had one shipping option by DHL. So when I was traveling to Lisbon in March, I picked up this adapter off Amazon because I was going to do a comparison of the Pixel 6 and the iPhone 15 Pro on that trip. And I needed something to be able to film myself using the various phones. However, on the last day I was in Lisbon, I just wandered into this department store, and in the display cabinet was one of the expansion adapters. So, of course, I picked it up right away, thinking it was going to be much better to have the OEM adapter rather than the aftermarket one. So now that we know how I ended up with these two adapters, let's go ahead and compare them. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the cost. Now, when it's available, you can get the DJI adapter on DJI's website for about £15, which seems reasonable. Unfortunately, you only have one option for shipping, as I mentioned, and this brings the total cost of the adapter up to £21.81. Its competitor, however, is available at Amazon, where you can get free shipping if you opt for that. Total cost for the Amazon one will be £18.90 if you use the link below and you are in the UK. So the price isn't that much difference really once you take shipping into account. Now let's take a closer look at both expansion adapters, and we will start with the official one first, the DJI. It comes in this nice white box, just like a lot of other DJI stuff. And inside the box you get just the adapter and a little bit of paperwork and nothing else. The adapter itself is nicely designed and stylish, and the plastic, of course, matches the camera exactly. The plastic looks quite rugged, and it's really thick as well. It was like actually surprising how thick this was. I don't think it needs to be. On the inside there is rubber on all contact surfaces, meaning that the adapter is going to grip onto the camera really well. And it's a good thing too, because the actual grip is the only thing that's holding the camera into this holder, as we will see later on. Now, the adapter itself is quite small because it doesn't cover the bottom of the camera, and it doesn't even cover the whole body of the camera, as we will see later when I put it on. You might think, well, okay, that looks neat, but that actually causes some problems, as we'll see. On the back of it, you have one pair of GoPro style fingers, which are permanently attached, and the clip is on this side of this adapter, and it works like so. Quite firm, quite reassuring, and you know, this feels really strong and robust. I don't think you're going to have any issues with this breaking or falling apart. Now let's look at this Bobo one. So I can't really pronounce it. From now on, I think I'm just going to call it Sunnylife, because it's actually got Sunnylife printed on the front there, and it also has Sunnylife on the box. So I'm not sure why the Amazon listing is Bobo, but you know, it is what it is. So inside this box you do get one of these screw things and some wrapping, and that's about it. The box for the Sunnylife is considerably smaller than the DJI one, and I think it's because the actual adapter is much smaller as well. Now, looking at the adapter itself, it has way more features than the DJI one. First of all, there are two pairs of fingers. The first one is around the back, just like the DJI one, but it also has one on the bottom, and while I don't plan to use this pair, it is there, meaning you can really mount this adapter any which way you want on any which kind of GoPro adapter that you currently have. Also on the bottom is a 1/4 tripod screw hole, meaning you can attach this to a tripod or any kind of camera mounting system, or even like a quick release plate, which will enable you to attach and detach really quickly from any tripod of your choosing. Finally, let's look at the rubber on the inside, and there's some rubber padding here on the back, but there isn't any padding anywhere else. You might think this is gonna be bad for your camera, but it's actually not, because you know, for things to scratch, you need one to be substantially harder than the other, and I don't think this adapter plastic is substantially harder than the camera plastic, so I'm actually not worrying about that happening at all. Now the clip mechanism is different on this one. It does clip from the side still, but the clip kind of goes around the back, and it might conflict with something that you have mounted here, making it difficult to take off in certain circumstances, but it hasn't actually bothered me, so that, you know, I'm not worried about that at all. Let me just show you again the side mechanism on the DJI one. So it is completely clear of the fingers if you have like it mounted to something big, so that could be one advantage for you. As I said, it hasn't bothered me, but it may affect you, so just think about that. Now let's talk about the mounting of the camera itself. Now I'm going to start with the DJI one, because this is the more difficult one to use. I can't understate how fiddly it is to get the camera in here, and it's because it's basically a tube, right? There's no stop up and down in this mount, so the camera could kind of just go anywhere, and this creates a lot of difficulty in mounting it properly. The camera just rocks in the holder, and you never know if you're getting it in the right place or not. And it's actually quite scary, because if you've seen any videos of this camera on YouTube, you know some people have a problem with the screen breaking, and it is fragile, and I'm really scared to use this adapter actually. It's one thing to do it under some bright studio lights, but I wouldn't want to do this when I'm out and about. So let me go through the process now. So you have to line up the buttons here and the joystick, but it's really hard to get in the correct position, because as I said, there's no like proper stop. So you just kind of have to align it and then close the clip. Now this is also really hard to close, right? You don't want to press on the screen while doing it, so you have to kind of do it like this. And because it's so hard to close, I wonder whether I've got it in the right place or not. Like right now I think it's a bit too high, so I'm going to squeeze it down ever so slightly, and then I'm just gonna go brave and close this. Right, that was super stiff. Now that you think that's on there, but there's this bar here, and the screen still has to clear that bar. So right, so I've got it this time. But a lot of times I'd put it on and it wouldn't be properly centered, and then the screen wouldn't open. It'd be applying pressure to the screen, and that's super scary for something this expensive and this fragile. All right, so once it's on, it's actually okay. It does make the camera a little bit bulky, and of course the fingers stick out all the time. So, you know, if you're using it like this, I guess it does give you a nice grip like that by passing through your first and second finger, index finger and second finger, whatever you call it. So, you know, once it's on, it's pretty much okay. Also, the adapter has a little cool shoe mount here. So if you wanted to mount something like a mic, or in my case this little light, you can slide it on there, but you know, it doesn't have a stop, so it just slides completely in and out. So you need to like properly center it, tighten it down, and then look, now you've got your light connected to your pocket tree. So that is actually quite useful, and that is something that the Sunnylife one does not have. So, you know, once you get it on, it's okay, but the process of getting it on is really fiddly. Let me just demonstrate that, because let me take it off again, and like, if you get it slightly off, like you can easily put it on slightly too high like that, and there's nothing really stopping it from going on in that position. And then when you tighten it down, it's going to be really stiff, because it's always stiff. But I'm not going to do it because I'm too scared to break my camera. But you can see in this position, it's actually solidly blocking the screen, and that's just really scary to me. You can tell I'm having a bit of difficulty getting it off here. Oh, I should also mention, just lastly, that you cannot access the SD card while your camera is in this adapter, because it completely blocks the SD card slot, which is over there. Right, now let's look at the Sunnylife aftermarket one. Now this one is designed differently. You see, there's no top bar, and it actually has a bottom. So there is a fixed position where the camera will slide into there and stay. Now remember how much trouble I had putting the camera in the official holder? Now check this out. And we're done. And the screen rotates fine because there's nothing blocking it. Now see how much easier that was? And it's simply because this adapter has a solid, it has a solid stop at the bottom. There's no question about where that camera is going into this holder. You just put it in there until it stops, and that is where you close it, and that's where it stays fixed. So to me, that is a much better design. Remember, you won't have to be doing this all the time either. Now on this one, if you wanted to use this in the holder so you wouldn't have to keep removing it, you can actually fold the what do you call it, the fingers down, and then you can use it. You can use it like that, handheld, and it actually works really well. It's very grippy. Again, the fingers can go through those fingers can go through your fingers if you want to make it extremely stable. I don't think you're going to be dropping this at all. Similarly, with the original DJI one, you're not going to be dropping this at all. I think you don't have to worry about that. Now let me go ahead and attach the Peak Design GoPro mount to this. Now I always mount it like so. Wait, I should take the screw out first. So of course this is a little bit more fiddly because these GoPro mounts always are, but the good go in. Right, but the good news is, once you got that in there, you shouldn't have to ever take it out again. I just took it out because I'm showing you all the two different styles of adapter. And if you wanted to take the camera out of this without having to first take this out, you see you can do it because it just about fits underneath. And then you can go ahead and take your camera out and put it back in. Now let me show you how that process is with the DJI one. So first you have to put this in very gingerly. I kind of like to make sure I can rotate the screen before actually closing it up. So I think that's it. Just make sure it's, yeah, see, that is working. Now I should also mention, if you wanted to stand this up without anything there, you really can't, because the base of the Osmo Pocket 3 is kind of rounded, so that kind of that wobbles around. I'll be kind of scared to leave that anyway. Anyway, let's put the Peak Design shoe on. Now because these fingers don't rotate, I'll say it's a little bit easier to put the accessory onto it, like so. Still not the easiest thing to do though. Got it? Finally. Right. There we go. So now, as I was saying, the door hair latch is on the side, so that's definitely not going to get in the way of any mounting hardware that you have on this. Okay, now the disadvantage of this holder, another one, is that you can't just put a tripod in at the bottom. You need to actually put this tripod into the piece that comes with the Osmo Pocket 3 before clipping that in. And I've got it over there being used for something else, so I'm not gonna show you that. Right, so finally I'm gonna take the Osmo Pocket out of this holder, put it back in its Sunnylife one. Now look how quick and easy that is compared to this one, just because it has a hard stop at the bottom. No worries at all. And I just wanted to put it in here one more time to show you that the Sunnylife adapter, because the base is so big, not only can you just put the supply tripod in directly, like so. And you know, quickly you have that as a means of mounting your camera anyway. But even if you don't have your tripod with you, the base of the camera is so wide that you can put it down like so, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna, you know, you're pretty confident it's not gonna fall over if you just place it down on a table somewhere. I won't put it on any rocks or anything, but that's quite secure there like that. So there we have it. That's the two holders and the advantages and disadvantages of both of them. I would really, you know, the fact that you can't get this holder anyway because it's so scarce, and if you do find it on DJI's website, you'll have to pay a lot of money for shipping. My recommendation is to just skip this DJI adapter and get one of the aftermarket ones. Like this one is so much more smaller, so much more compact. It's more versatile with its mounting options and like a number of directions you can mount it on. It has the tripod built in, so you can keep the piece that came with your pocketry on something else. Like I have it on a slider back there. I'll show you in a little bit. Well, actually I'll show you now because I'll just overlay it. The DJI one does have the cold shoe mount, which the Sunnylife one does not. So, you know, if you are vlogging at night, for example, and you want a light on you, then perhaps you'll want this one. But like, what I have to say is, if you decide to get the DJI one, just put it on the camera and leave it and not take it off, because it's so fiddly and a little bit scary to put on and take off. I really wouldn't want to be doing it too often, and that's the biggest drawback of the DJI one, to be honest. Okay, so that's it for this comparison. I hope this video helped you out a bit in making the decision about which one you want to buy. If you want a DJI one, go to the website, get it. If you want the Sunnylife one, check my link out below, my Amazon link. I'll get a couple cents if you buy it, so I'll really appreciate that. It'll keep encouraging me to make more videos on this channel for you guys. In the meantime, like and subscribe, and look out for more coming soon. Cheers.